So as you guys may know, book design is what I want to go into as a career, so I just thought this was the perfect opportunity to allow ourselves to drool collectively over some books together. I was like, wouldn't that be fun? This will come in 3 different parts: illustrative, photographic and typographic. So I thought that I would start off with illustrated book covers because illustration is what I studied at university and it's very important to me. So here we go. I have a lot of books to show you, so I'm just going to dive in. So the first book on my pile is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. I think this is such a stunning cover. It could have been really dull. The idea isn't really that groundbreaking, just a feather, but I think the way it's executed is just flawless. I love the kind of copper foiling that they've got on the cover and the way they've incorporated the type with the design and how they've left so much blue space around it. I think it's just really effective. I also love the spine and how they've put coppery bronze feathers down there which have spot UV on them, so they're kind of indented and shiny. Also, the inside is yellow. Blue and yellow. Look at my room. I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. I adore this book. I have read this. This is published by Vintage. This is by an illustrator called Nirut Putapiphat, who was a massive inspiration to me because I love silhouettes and I think he is just freaking incredible. And this cover is so stunningly beautiful and sums up the plot perfectly. It has all of the characters on there, it shows them off so subtly but so perfectly, and the colours are flawless. So the next book I have is Deathless by Catherine M. Valente. I love the textured feel of this cover and how the silhouette is almost kind of stamped onto the cover. I think it's just beautifully done. I love the type as well and how it's just black and red put together. I think it's really, really effective. I also think the illustration is just really enticing and interesting, and unlike anything I've ever seen before, it makes you wonder what the book is about and who this person is. It just looks really intriguing and definitely is part of the reason why I picked this book up, so I have to admit that. The next cover is a pretty good example of how the UK can make a good book cover, but the US cover is just a little bit better, and it's Sarafina by Rachel Hartman. This has a very similar design, the illustration is exactly the same, but the US edition has a nice maroon kind of border around it and the typography is so much nicer. I'll insert both of them. But I still think the illustration of this book is just amazing. It looks almost like etching. So again, a really simple idea that could have been really boring, but because of the execution, it is just stunning to look at, and I am very proud to have this in my collection. I think it's really, really nice. The next book is We Used to Be Kings by Stuart Foster. This kind of illustration with the really bold colour choices and obvious paint brush strokes is very kind of trendy nowadays in illustration, but I do think just from the sound of the book, it sounds like a very desolate, sad, lonely kind of book, which is also kind of a psychological journey. So as you can see, it's just a boy standing on what looks like a moon or a planet on his own, just completely surrounded by blue black sky, and I think it's just stunning. The design stretches across the whole jacket and you can see an astronaut on the back, and I think it's just so well done. I really, really, really love it. This subcategory is called Books Designed by Me. I can't believe I'm doing this. I really want to show you guys my book covers, just for anyone who hasn't seen them yet, so I'm going to show you. And also they're illustrated, so it's relevant. So the first one is The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. I'm especially proud of this one because this is the one that I was shortlisted for the Penguin Design Award for and highly commended. So this is like a very important thing in my life. In my design, I wanted to kind of incorporate the threatening, dark themes and the fact that the main character is kind of exploring the city and exploring lots of different scenes and people, and I just kind of wanted to throw that in there. And I wanted the whole design to stretch across the jacket of the book. I really wanted to keep the whole jacket in mind when I was designing it. So the whole city kind of stretches across the back, and I'm really, really happy with it. So the other book that I designed was Watercarve Up by Jonathan Coe. These were both designed for the Penguin Design Award, by the way. I didn't just do this randomly. You can see the whole process of me designing this on my channel. I'll link it down below. I filmed myself designing this and putting it together. Watercarve Up is basically about a man who is interviewing and putting together this history of a family, a very rich, famous family who are very, very horrible. They all come together in their house one night and lots of horrible events occur. I just created the simple doll's house kind of Cluedo inspired cover, and again wanted to think about the jacket as a whole, so I drew the front of it on the front, and then the back of it on the back with the summary of the book on it, pretty clumsily. Another one is Roald Dahl's book of ghost stories. I wish that I could have this. I think I might buy it for Halloween. So the last book is one that I also don't own, but I definitely plan to buy, and that is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. It's illustrated by Jim Kay. He is just out of this world amazing. I studied him at university like a number of times, and I still haven't bought this, which is insane and dumb. So those are some of my favourite illustrated book covers. I'm sure I forgot some because obviously I just have. I hope that you enjoyed this video and just getting some insight into what kind of illustrated covers I like. Thank you so much for watching, I very much appreciate it. I've realised that this has become like my tagline. I think I say it in every single video. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching, I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Times that I really didn't expect to have the shit scared out of me, and it was!